Jay Kelly is out on Netflix, new film from Noah Baumbach starring George Clooney, Adam Sandler, Emily Mortimer, Greta Gerwig, Billy Crudup, Laura Dern, and Patrick Wilson. The film follows an aging actor, the film star played by Clooney, who is confronting some of his past life choices and has a kind of a crisis of priorities, prompting him to quit a movie he's supposed to start making and instead go on an improvised trip across Europe, on which his manager and friend, Adam Sandler, is trying desperately to rein him in and keep things together. So, on paper, this sounds very good. Clooney playing a kind of a version of himself, introspecting about whatever things happened in the past for him, whether it was worth it to sacrifice family and relationships for a great career. Adam Sandler in another dramatic role, and the two of them exploring where friendship ends and business begins. Sadly, it is very disappointing. I think it's very self-absorbed, you could say pretentious, and has its head very far up its own ass. It presents us with a collection of generally horrible people who don't listen to each other, don't really like or support each other, and have their priorities completely upside down. And the movie tries to convince you that they're likable or relatable when they're anything but. I didn't connect emotionally to anybody in the entire film, and I think it would have been better if the movie itself realized that these are assholes and presented them as such. But it doesn't, and so the tone is a bit jarring. It's also poorly written, with a lot of telling instead of showing. A great example being the conversation between Laura Dern and Adam Sandler on the train station, where they reminisce about Paris and just explain step by step to the audience what was between them. I think the train scene with Clooney engaging with the random people is bizarrely saccharine and fake. I think the whole subplot with the German cyclist suddenly becoming a thief was just head scratching. I have no idea where it came from other than the screenwriters needing this specific thing to happen for Jay Kelly. I think it's thematically unfocused. It unnecessarily populates itself with these various characters who one by one disappear from the story instead of really narrowing it down to Sandler and Clooney right from the get-go and doing just more of that. Sandler himself is completely wasted. I think there's nothing standing out about his performance. It is perfectly ordinary. Clooney is good, I will admit that, and but then again, he doesn't get the best writing. And finally, the movie looks shit because it's got the usual Netflix look. I've been talking about this for years now. Flat lighting, flat camera lenses, boring look, no shots stand out in any way, incredibly pedestrian. So yeah, all in all, I don't think it's any good. Clooney is solid. The montage of his films at the end was surprisingly and unexpectedly touching, but and also there's this running joke about the cheesecake, which I found a bit fun. But other than that, it's just a lot of noise. I didn't like it.